What's up, guys? We're actually going to work on the ported fiberglass sub box tonight. Finally, after forever, I'm going to get to that part to the fiberglassing it. Because in the last part we actually did the framework and fleeced it, so I can show you how that was put together. Fiberglassing this is pretty much the same basic idea, and what you're going to want to do is do the entire thing, and that's why I went ahead and I got an entire gallon. That way I've got plenty to do the entire thing, because this whole thing is going to need to be fiberglassed. As far as putting the fiberglass cloth on it, you'll really mainly just want to get around the speaker, mostly. You don't really have to do your hard parts, you just want to get in your softer areas. But you always want to keep your hole for your ring. Excuse me. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and we'll get started on that, and we'll get to that. We'll also get to actually cutting out the port and stuff like that in probably the next video. I'm going to try to make this as minimum amount of segments as possible, because I sent the old lady for chip brushes and this is what she brings me, the 3-inch. Normally I'll use like the 2-inch or whatever, the smaller ones, because they're cheaper, but these are fine. 3-inch will be fine, it covers pretty fast. Anyways, I've already got some pieces of cloth cut for different areas that I'm going to be putting them on. So, but anyways, we'll get to that later. We don't really have to do the hardened sections until later, but I'll probably do like the bottom and the side or whatever, or the back and the side, and then do the bottom later, because like I said, this is going to be completely fiberglassed. Which is actually the way that you technically sort of should do the ported ones. You know, they'll look cleaner, they'll look nicer. It gets kind of expensive though, because it actually takes a lot of fiberglass resin, and as you know, a gallon is like 40 bucks or something. I can't remember exactly how much, but it's kind of expensive. Anyways, and as you well know, kind of follow your directions, or if you've done a lot of fiberglassing, you kind of know how much you're going to need of hardener per fiberglass resin. So anyways, we're going to get started here, mixing up some resin. The more you do this stuff, the better you'll get at it, and the more you'll understand why it is that I say that after a while you can almost practically guess and get it pretty close. I think I started messing with fiberglass a long time ago. Make sure this is nice and soaked in. That's why you want it to be, you want it to take a little longer to set up. That way it'll get soaked into your material much better. If you have it real heavy to where it'll dry really fast and it'll cure up really fast, then you're going to end up with it not being completely soaked in. So that's another reason why I say, you know, follow your directions the best you can, and after a while you'll learn what you can and can't get away with. Okay, guys, as you can see, I've already put the piece of fiberglass cloth on the front portion of this. I went ahead and did that so that you could kind of see that it doesn't matter if you want to do it before or after it dries. It doesn't matter. It's a little bit easier to do it before it dries, actually. That way you already got it and it gets a good bond to it. This isn't completely dry anyways. It's not completely set up. So to do the next layer, well, you know, we can go ahead and do the next layer without too much of a problem. We've got the next piece for this section. There's going to be, I'll do a little bit of trimming here. All you really got to do is just cut off kind of what you're not really needing. And you can use little filler pieces. I've got little pieces over here to the side, random sizes and stuff, and we'll fill this all in really nice, and it'll be nice and strong where it needs to be strong at, which the whole box technically kind of needs to be strong, but that's where all this other stuff comes into play at. The wood, the framing, all that helps strengthen the box. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and get on to this next portion, which is going to be finishing up the fiberglassing part, and I will probably go ahead and do the back and the side. I'll save the bottom for another time, I guess. Kind of depends on how everything goes here, but I want to get this on, and then I'll get this side on and get some of these other little random spots filled in. Well, that's it for that. Anyways, make sure you mix it up really good. And hopefully the bugs don't bug you like they're bugging me. I'm guessing they like body shop stuff, because every time I pull out body shop stuff, whether it's paint or whatever it is, bugs just think that they gotta attack. Well, okay, as far as this segment, I'm going to call that done for this segment. As you can see, I mostly just ran you through everything. I ran you through the bottom, the back, and I ran you through the fiberglassing. See, this is starting to harden up quite well. This will be hardened up probably in another 20-30 minutes. It'll probably be completely hard. Anyways, I'll still have to do the port side, and then this box will be done with the fiberglassing portion. And then before we get started on the next section, I'll have to cut this out, and I'll have to cut the port out, and then I can go ahead and I can put some putty on this pig. And then it'll smooth it out quite a bit after I give it a good sanding. You'll want to give it a really good sanding whenever this is all hardened up and stuff. You give it a nice sanding with some 220, some 120, whatever. Just go over it, sand it down, rough it up real good. Go over the entire box, and then after that, you know, you want to mix up your body filler and then smooth it out, and try to make it as smooth as possible, because like I say, you really don't want to spend an entire day sanding this thing down. You don't want to have to do it. You don't want to have to spend an entire day sanding anything down, especially if it's something that should be smooth. Anyways, I'm going to call this video done, even though technically it's not done, but we'll get on to the next video I don't know when that's going to be. I have no idea, but the next video will be sanding. I'll go ahead and I'll sand it. I'll cut out my holes in my port, and we'll get it smoothed out for the next section. And I should have the terminals. I'll show you that too. I'm going to get the terminals that actually screw in. I'm not getting the pop-in kind because they suck anyways. They're garbage. They're a waste of time and a waste of money. You want the ones that screw in. You put the terminal in, you screw it in, and it'll stay there and it'll seal much better. So anyways, that'll be for the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to subscribe, and have a spectacular day or night, whichever one it is for you. Peace out.